What's good, R&B squad? This is Heart of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. Before I get into the word, I just want to tell you guys that I am still under the weather, so please excuse my voice. I have the flu, and you guys know the flu will do what it will do. But one thing the enemy is not going to do is shut me up. Especially when I know there are so many of you that are waiting on a word to bring you some hope. And the Lord hasn't slowed down on giving the words to me, so I'm not going to slow down on delivering them. Bear with me. I'm going to do the best I can, given that my voice isn't at 100 just yet. Now, the word that I have today comes from some things that the Lord spoke to me in the Spirit. And there are two parts to this message. So there is a main message, and then there's another quick message that I have to give before. So before I get into the main message, the Lord said to tell y'all that he is getting ready to correct some people. Anybody who is out of order will be corrected. And that correction can look different for everybody. So just getting that out of the way. Now, the second part of this word is a kingdom marriage word. And it is mainly for a sister in Christ. So, sister in Christ, yes, I'm speaking to you. You have been speaking to God about your God-ordained partner. The Lord has told you whom your God-ordained partner is, so you know. And you recently spoke to God about him. You could have spoken to God about doubts that you may be having, about things that you may have seen in the natural, about things that you may have heard about him, and it has you asking questions. You're questioning, is this even my person? Should I still hold on? Should I still stand for him? So this word is going to clear all of that up. If that's you, sister in Christ, come here, come sit next to your good sis, and I will tell you some things to change your perspective. And if you're a brother in Christ, you can still listen to this because you may very well be in a situation where you're coming out of a relationship or you're already recently out of a relationship that was counterfeit. You weren't supposed to be there. So now this is what I heard. I very distinctly heard the Lord say, you and the promise that he has with you are his eagle's nest. Let me say that again. I heard the Lord say, you and the promise that he has with you, the promise that your God-ordained husband has with you, are his eagle's nest. That's his home. And then after the Lord said that to me, I said to the Lord, why eagle's nest? Why that particular term? Why that reference? And then the Lord had me go and do my homework about an eagle's nest. So here is what I found while I was doing a little bit of research and doing the homework that the Lord sent me to do. I'm just going to read. I'm reading straight from the notes that I took. And these are some facts about an eagle's nest. A pair of eagles will generally return to the same nest year after year, called nest site fidelity. In most cases, but not all cases, eagles will have more than one nest within their breeding territory, called an alternate nest. This usual number of alternate nests averages from 1 to 2. The most commonly accepted explanation for this occurrence is that the alternate nest serves as insurance in case the primary nest is destroyed early in the nesting season. And you know what? I shouldn't have started there. Let me start at the very beginning. That part just jumped out at me, so I went ahead and I read that part first. But let me start at the very beginning, and then I'm going to get to that part. So remember, the Lord is saying to you, if this word is for you, that you, sister in Christ, and this man and the promise that he has with you, the promise that your God-ordained partner has with you, you are this man's eagle's nest. You are his home. So I'm reading a bit from the research that I did about eagle's nests. Bald eagles build the largest nest of any bird in North America. These nests are reused annually by the same pair of birds, not by two different birds, not by one bird finding another bird an alternate bird and nesting with an alternate bird. Nope. These nests are reused annually by the same pair of birds. So the two birds that started out building the nest, those are the two birds that will continue to inhabit that nest. And these nests increase in size accordingly to the length of time that they have been occupied. And then I'm going to jump all the way down here, back to where I went before. A pair of eagles will generally return to the same nest site year after year. So in other words, the eagle's home does not change. The eagle remains in the home. Remember, the Lord said that you and the promise that this man has with you, this is his home. That's his eagle's nest. An eagle does not go to a different home. The only time they go to a different home is if for some reason the original home was destroyed. And even so, when they build a new home, they usually do it with the same mate. They don't seek a different mate. Let me continue. So a pair of eagles will generally return to the same nest year after year, and that is called nest site fidelity. Come on, Lord. Come on, Jesus. Nest site fidelity, faithfulness. They're faithful to where their home is. They don't look to build a home elsewhere. In most, but not all cases, eagles will have more than one nest within their breeding territory, called an alternate nest. The usual number of alternate nests averages from 1 to 2. The most commonly accepted explanation for this occurrence is that the alternate nest serves as insurance in case the primary nest is destroyed early in the nesting season. The key thing here is that even if the eagle has an alternate nest, that eagle will go to that nest with the same mate. So if for some reason the physical structure of the home is destroyed, these two eagles go and they build another nest as backup. So they're not leaving each other. They're not parting ways. They're not looking for an alternate family. They're going to a different nest and building a different nest if the primary nest is destroyed, but they're doing it with each other. Let me continue. Once a suitable nest tree has been selected, both adults, the male bald eagle and the female bald eagle, will gather branches and sticks and begin constructing a new nest or adding new materials if a nest already exists. The branches are woven by the female eagle, much like the weaving of a basket. And I'm going to stop right there because I need to. Did you get that, sis? If you're listening to this, did you get that, sis? And if you're a brother in Christ listening to this, did you get that? The branches of the eagle's nest, even though both adult eagles build the nest together, the branches, which is what is used as the primary material to build the nest, the branches are woven together by the female eagle. So, sister in Christ, listen to me. That man cannot build his nest without you. This man of God, because he's going to be a man of God, I don't care what he's doing right now or how out of order he is, God is going to put him in order and he's going to be a man of God. So I'm speaking it over him. This man of God cannot build his nest without you, sister in Christ. He needs you to build his nest. And he can't do it with any bird now. He cannot do it with just any bird. He can't go get a canary to build his nest. He needs another eagle just like him. He needs to mate and nest with another eagle just like him. And the only person that can help that male eagle build his nest is the female eagle. He cannot, this brother in Christ cannot. He can get far, but not as far as he needs to be without your presence. You are his helpmate. Do you understand? Nobody else can play that role. I don't care what other bird is trying to land on his shoulder. You are his eagle. You're the female eagle to his male eagle. And he needs you to build his nest. He cannot do it without you. It's a collaborative effort between the two of you, but you got the secret sauce. You're the one with the main material. Nobody else has that. Okay? So let me go back into the notes that I have here. Is that it? Let me see. Oh, and here's the most important part. Bald eagle nests are legally protected and may not be removed at any time without a federal permit. Let me read that again. Bald eagle nests are legally protected and may not be removed at any time without a federal permit. So, you know what, sis? Listen. This man of God that the Lord put on your heart, this man of God in whose heart you are right now, and I do not care where that man is or what he's doing, trust and believe after what the Lord showed me. If you could see what the Lord showed me, after what the Lord showed me, wherever this man is and whatever he's up to, I guarantee you, you stay on his mind. You are constantly in his thoughts. He cannot shake you. Because at the end of the day, you are where home is. You're his nest. You're his eagle's nest. That's just the way it is. That's just the way God intended for it to be. So listen, a bald eagle's nest is protected legally. And can't nobody move the nest without federal permission. The Lord is saying he is your federal permission. Anybody that got to move this man out of your life, anybody that has to break this relationship up, break this union up, they're going to need anybody that has to break up what the Lord is building, the house that the Lord is building, has to get federal permission. And they're not going to get it from him. The only person they can get that permission from is the Lord. He's not going to give them permission. Somebody say down in the comments, they don't have permission. They do not have permission to break what the Lord is building. Only God can allow them, whoever is trying to separate the two of you, whoever is trying to create degrees of separation between the two of you, even if it's Satan himself, whoever is trying to do it needs permission from the Lord. That's the federal permission right there. To uproot the nest that he's building for the two of you. And he's not going to give them that permission. So now listen, what are the facts we have so far? Bald eagles are faithful to their nest. So this man is going to be faithful to where is home, and you are home to him. Spiritually, emotionally, you are home to him. Bald eagles, even if they have to leave the physical structure of their home, they take the same mate and they build another physical structure. So if this man has to leave up out of wherever he is, leave up out of whatever situation, if he has to move out of state, he's taking you with him. Because that is what a bald eagle does. They take the same mate to wherever else they're making their physical structure or their new nest. They don't take a different mate. They practice nest fidelity, so they know where home is, and they're not trying to set up house nowhere else. This man is not trying to set up house with anybody else. I don't care what the counterfeit in his life or the counterfeit who used to be in his life is trying to do. Because you see, that's what some of you are going through right now. For some of you, this man has some crazy ex who's a counterfeit. He was in a counterfeit relationship with them. He might be just coming out of the counterfeit relationship with them, and they might be saying and doing all kinds of things to make you think badly of your person, to make you judge your person. But it's just an illusion. That's all they can do. They can't create nothing real. See, the building of the nest is with you. They cannot create anything real, so all they can do is create an illusion. All they can do is try to make your person look bad, try to make it look like you and their person still have dealings with each other. And believe me, they will go all out to try to do that. The Lord is saying they're deluding themselves. Let me tell you, that counterfeited situation that your person is in, the Lord said it is broken. It is crippled. There is no movement there. This man cannot go back to what is broken. He cannot go back to what is crippled and cannot move. The walls are closing in on him. The wall's been closing in on him. He's trying to feel claustrophobic. He's like, get me out of here. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe here. He knows he can't stay where there's no movement. And the only way out is to find his eagle's nest, and that is with you. And brother in Christ, if you're a brother in Christ listening to this, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. You know you're in the wrong place. You know you've been in the wrong place. You need to go find your eagle's nest. And you know exactly where that is. Let this be confirmation to you that it is time to find your eagle's nest. And you already know where that is. If you're listening to this, you already know where that is. The Lord has already showed you. So, sister in Christ, if you were sitting there doubting, if you went to God recently, you complained, you said, Lord, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this man, I don't like the way it looks. I don't like what I'm hearing about him. Just know that you are that man's eagle's nest. The promise that he has with you, you are his eagle's nest, and he cannot build his nest without you. That's just the way that it is. So I hope that this message blessed someone. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.